So, yeah, had to take a deep breath when I hit that button. I was in the bathroom a few minutes ago. I worked today, obviously, and I was looking at the hot mess that I am right now and realized as I looked in the mirror with my dirty hair and my puffy eye things and my zit crap that I'm 51 and I'm fighting zits and wrinkles at the same time. And then it reminded me of a funny story. And from New York. It's actually pretty funny. And the moral of this is nobody's looking at us. I mean, I'm vain. Don't get me wrong. I am vain. But we all think everybody's looking at us. Nobody's looking at us. They're looking at themselves, worried about people are looking at them. So I have a story to prove this to you. When I was living in New York City, when I was living down in the West Village, I lived on West 12th between 6th and 7th Avenues. And I lived there with my ex-husband. And he was a surgeon. He was in the OR. And I was sick as snot. And I was like, oh, we lived on the 12th floor. And I was like, oh my God, it was freezing cold outside. And I just felt terrible. And so I was like, oh my gosh, there's nobody to bring me cold medicine. I need cold medicine. I'm dying. I need cold medicine. So I couldn't breathe and I was coughing and I had a sore throat. So I was like, I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta go get something. So I put on my coat and a hat and some gloves and a scarf and I was all bundled up and I got in the elevator and we lived in St. Vincent's Hospital downtown because the surgery residents had to live there their last 2 or 3 years. And we lived on the 12th floor. There is no 13th floor. No 13th floors in Manhattan. And the father and a lot of the sisters, Catholic sisters, lived on the 14th floor. And at the time, I don't think we were married. So I kind of like had my hands hidden. So I got on the elevator and of course they were on the elevator. And I'm like, good afternoon, Father. Good afternoon, sisters. And they're like, good afternoon. And very proper. And I get to the bottom and walk out into the lobby. And Danny, this is going to sound like I'm making these up. I'm really not. Danny from Ireland, crappy, I shit you not. He was our doorman at that end of the hospital where a bunch of us lived and where doctor's offices were. And so he was super, super nice. And I was like, Danny, I'm running down to CVS. Do you want anything? Do you need anything while I'm going down there? And he's like, oh no, you're so, in his beautiful accent. No, you're so nice. You're fine. You're fine. Go ahead. And he said, I hope you feel better. And I said, thanks. So walk out onto the street, 12th Street, and walk down to 6th Avenue. And I turn north going up 6th Avenue. And it's before Thanksgiving or Christmas. It was so busy. There were like people everywhere. So, I'll tell you a secret. People are like, oh, how do you get through the crowds in New York? There's people coming at you. There's a trick. Pardon me. And the trick is, I still can't believe I'm on here like this. The trick is, don't look up because people think you're a tourist. But don't look at people. Just kind of keep walking as you're looking around. And people, because it's like a game of chicken. And if people are like, oh my God, she doesn't see me. This woman's going to hit me. They will move. And I'm here to tell you, when you do this, the seas part on the streets of New York. It's fantastic. I was there for a long time and it works. So I'm parting the seas, headed to CVS, cause I feel like crap. Go into CVS. The sweetest girl, her name was, I don't know, it sounds like I'm making it up. I'm not. Maria. Maria, her hair was like really tight and she had this like black liner on her lips. I guess it was a thing back then. I don't know. But she was super sweet. I used to see her all the time. And her sister was getting married. I think it was her sister was getting married. And I was like, oh, Maria, how are you? And she goes, oh, Mommy, you look terrible. And I said, thanks. And I was like, have you had the wedding yet? And she's like, no, it's coming up and blah, blah, blah. And we're having a conversation. No big deal, right? This is going somewhere, I promise. And so I go and get all the cold medicine and the cough drops and all that crap. The Vicks thing, all of it. And I loaded up and she's like, oh, Mommy, I hope you feel better. And I said, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I walk back out onto 6th Avenue. I'm going back down to my apartment and I see some of the girls, my nail salon. It's right there next to my dry cleaners, next to my grocery store. Everything was right down there. and, you know, wave at my girl in there, and I keep going. There's tour buses everywhere. I keep going. I turn, I get back in the apartment, building, say hi to Danny. He's like, hope you feel better. Get back into the elevator. There's patients and physicians. I'm like, hello, hi, how are you? And they're like, hi, hello. Because I break that rule in elevators. I'm sorry. I'm the one that talks. I know that's shocking. And so anyway, I got back up to the apartment. And I walk into the bathroom to put everything up and make myself a cocktail. And I looked in the mirror and I have this, not a zit, an entire green mask on my whole face, except for my eyeballs and my nose hole and like my mouth. It was cracked all over. Apparently, I felt so terrible. I had put it on and forgot about it and was obsessed with how horrible I felt. I talked to every one of those people. Nobody even hinted to me, like, no one even hinted that you got some all over your face. Nobody. The people that cared about me didn't care. It reminds me of my favorite Dr. Seuss quote. Be who you are and say what you feel. Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. And it's true story, true story. I'm certain that I am on a lot of people's vacation pictures. From like Apple tour bus and everywhere. I'm sure I am in their pictures. Like, look at that freak in New York. Danny, Maria, the people in the elevator, the father, the sisters, no one even hinted. So here's my point. Nobody is thinking, we all think people are thinking about us all the time, or how we look, or how we're acting, or what we say. Nobody's thinking about us. Nobody. You know what they're thinking about? Themselves. Everybody's thinking about themselves. They can't be thinking about you if they're thinking about themselves, and you're worried you're thinking about you too. So just remember, be who you are. Say what you feel. Those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind that I came on here looking like this. And those who mind, you don't matter, man. This is me. I hope you guys have a great night. I gotta go get this off before it burns my face.